Done. And hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Talk.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Leeann. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
Awesome. Another Wednesday.
I know.
Another Spiritual Talk. It's going to be really exciting tonight because we've got a first on Spiritual Talk tonight, haven't we?
I know. And don't we just love them?
Guys, just come in and say hello because we got no comments. We don't know if anybody's watching or anything. We're kind of hoping that everybody's watching tonight. Because I think we've got 9 people watching already, but no one said hello. So I'm hoping we are live because, hi, Carol. Carol's coming.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Sean. Sean's here. For some reason, I can't see you, Paul. That's a bit strange.
I can.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not sure why you can't see me. So I'm just double checking that we're definitely live because it wouldn't be coming through with Leeann on. So, and it's all broadcasting. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let us know if you can see me because that would be a bit strange. So let's talk about tonight's guest, shall we, Leeann?
Yes, we can. It is an absolute pleasure to introduce our beautiful guest this evening. So Ashley Teer is from Northern Ireland, and Ashley is a medium, a clinical hypnotherapist, an inspirational speaker, and a healer of negative self-beliefs. So this is really exciting. So without further ado, we welcome Ashley Teer.
Hello, Ashley.
Hi guys.
How you doing? How are you?
Really good. Really excited. I was a bit nervous earlier, but no, I'm completely at ease, feeling good, feeling excited.
Brilliant. So we're going to do a first tonight, aren't we? We're not just going to interview you, we're also going to do some work, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you want to quickly just tell people what we're going to do?
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to share and there may be questions, etc. But in due course near the end, we're going to go on a bit of a spiritual hypnotherapy journey. And in that journey, you will be tapping into your own inner guidance. So I suppose we need to be and keep it really open-minded. You could meet a spirit guide, your higher self, a loved one past, just higher guidance for you, meeting a wee spirit animal. You're bringing back that information and your experience, and hopefully people will be able to share a wee bit.
Brilliant.
Wow, exciting.
Absolutely. So here on the Spiritual Talk, though, we like to know a little bit about you as a person and how you started on your spiritual journey. So I know it's a bit of a traumatic event that happened to you, but can you just tell us a little bit about what happened to you?
Absolutely. I suppose I'll give maybe a little bit of a small intro into my background as a person, because I do think it ties in and it's relevant. But I'll not be here all night to do. I'll not bore you. But when I was younger, it was just, and I feel like that's obviously where I'm at, the space where I am at now, and what I'm able to offer is, it was a very traumatic childhood. My mom's got rapid cycle bipolar. My father left when I was 3. So there was a lot of trauma when I was growing up. And, working my way through all that, in my teenage years, there was, my younger years under, 9 or 10, there was a suicide attempt. When I was 15, there was a suicide attempt because my life was so traumatic. I could not cope. I was filled with jealousy, insecurity, bitterness. I had a drink problem all through my 20s. I had a son that passed when I was 15, and my life was just chaos. My life was utter chaos. And I suppose it's leading up. I'm trying to lay the foundation to show you where the sort of experience that was a bit more supernatural, metaphysical, so to speak. I was in a lot of a pattern of domestic violence. I met my daughter's father when I was 15. And, you know, we were together for a long stretch, and that was a very dysfunctional, argumentative, domestic violence. And I have to be honest, I was involved in that as well. You know, I was just so lost and broken and insecure. And, you know, I even remember things like it's like I talk about a different person because it's so not me. I was so unaware and in the patterns of, you know, alcohol out there. And whenever my daughter would be at her dad's, I would just go out, you know, and drink for days on end. And I was in some very, what's the word, dangerous situations. You know, if you're a female and you're out and you're leaving yourself wide open to whatever, you know, you're not getting home. Like, so I met, you know, it's as if, and I've spoke of this before, you know, my gut instincts always were telling me and showing me that I was doing the wrong thing. I wasn't listening. I didn't care. I didn't care about myself to even go on the right path. You know, the self-worth, everything was just so low. It was kind of just stumbling through life. And sort of when I look back, I think it's pathetic, but I think it's sad. I used to drink and go out for a walk and just meet people, just walk down there, just have somebody to talk to. And it's just, you know, when I think back, but I'll get back to on point. I, you know, came out of an abusive relationship, and, you know, I met this guy, and he was the cookie cutter of the last one, except ramped up by like 1,000, you know.
Oh, wow.
Ex-army guy, you know, he told me he'd killed people. He was quite dangerous, but he was very intense. And, you know, everything in me knew that this was not the right way to go. I remember even speaking to him on the phone. We'd split up for a point. We were together like 3 months. He turned into a stalker. And he phoned me and said, "You better take me back. And if you don't take me back, I'm going to kill you." And everything in my whole body, my gut, everything was screaming, "Don't do it. Don't stop. Run." And I just went, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll take you back." Didn't care. Do you know what I mean? And it's sad to think that I know that some women are in that position, because people say, "Why don't you leave?" Well, what if you don't care about living? What if you don't care about yourself?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Say,
absolutely.
you know, it's even that point that it's sad to say that even when you have a child, or if people have children, that's not enough to get them to care for themselves, to want better. Anyway, long story short, this guy, absolutely bad news. I was, you know, held against my will, and he tried to take my life that night. And remembering back to what I was wanting to do to get out of this situation, I was thinking, I want to fight for my life. I want to argue. I want to fight. And I had a voice, a very distinct voice in my ear say, "Tell him that you love him. Tell him that you'll be together. You'll take him. Tell him this, tell him that." And in my mind, I was fighting for my life. I was frantic. I was panicked. And my body was telling me, react. But this voice was telling me, "Do this." And it was like a whisper. It was subtle. It was calm. And I went, right, I have two choices here, one or the other. And I went with the voice. And I really think I wouldn't be here today without listening to that advice.
Yeah.
You know, and as I moved on, you know, just as we went to court, and I had to, you know, do all the whole court thing, and he was put in jail and things. But that was the first time, because I'm going to be honest, when I was a young child, it was more like survival mode. It was survival mode. You know, I wasn't thinking about anything spiritual. I wasn't seeing anybody at the bottom of my bed. You know, none of this, nothing. Survival mode. And, you know, just life was passing me by in the 20s, drinking, going out, just like a tumbleweed in the wind, blowing along. No focus, no purpose, nothing. But that experience showed me, what was that? Who was that? Where did that come from? That was very interesting. And that sort of opened the door for me to be a bit open to this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
So I'm still processing everything you've just said. Wow.
Absolutely. Also, just quickly, I'm going to apologize for people that are trying to watch us on the Spiritual Talk group. For some reason, Facebook hasn't gone live in there, and there's a few technical issues. So we do apologize for that, people. So bear with us, and we'll try and get that up as quick as we can. Sorry, carry on, Leeann.
To throw me now. Sorry.
We are still live.
I'm still
though.
processing.
Yeah, we're still live. We are still live.
Well, it just goes to prove the more you go through, the brighter you become, don't you? When you listen to your inner self, because you are one bright, beautiful soul. You really are. And
Thank you.
just the things I've read about you and heard, such an inspiration to others as well.
Thank you. It has been a long journey. And what I would say is, you don't just wake up overnight and you're completely better. It has taken me years. I mean, years of healing, spiritual healing, hypnotherapy, shamanic healing, and, all the psychological healing that when I went and started, personal development is a big passion and love of mine, psychology. When I went to Women's Aid after all this happened, the concept that you could look at yourself and think about how you react and think about that really fascinated me. And then when I studied counselling, it was you had to really look at yourself in your childhood. And I had never thought of that concept. And I thought, oh, really? So I can do exercises or sort of be aware of myself and my reactions, and you can change. I was like, whoa, because I can't, if I change, then I change the person I am for my family, my relationships, how I show up in work. And you know what? It absolutely cleansed me of being jealous, bitter, insecure, and actually have, a very supportive partner. He helped me on that journey as well. And I'm just, honestly, I'm such a different person. And I look back at that person and think, I see people in situations like that who are lost, they're broken. I've seen a lot of people that are suicidal, and I've helped them on their journey. That's the lowest point where you're going to go. And, speaking from somebody who, because I've been there and I know, it's just very easy to connect with people on that level.
Yeah. I think it's about learning to fall in love with yourself again, isn't it? Because you don't, and it's not until you reach inside and, like you said, do all your work. But I mean, I have a lot of clients that tend to think that you can fix it quickly. And like you said, it's not. It's a long process, and you still get what I call your blippy days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I suppose then one thing that would be relevant, that's, that point that happened I was in my early 20s, mid 20s. And that experience that I always remembered, it was still maybe 2-3 years later that my grandmother died. And my grandmother basically raised me, loved her. She was my mum. She was my dad. She was my everything. And she passed away. And I thought, I'm gonna see if there's anything out there. I'm gonna go and book a reading. So that's what I did. Booked a reading, went in, sat down, and I would say that was my green light for life. That was my green light for go. Because I went in seeking connection to my grandmother, who's I love dearly. But what I got was so much more. And it fascinated me because she didn't only give me my grandmother, she gave me, the majority was a psychic reading, was psychic guidance and what she saw for me. And I thought, she said to me, you could be a counsellor, you could write books, you can work with children, you can be a medium, I see you on stage speaking to people, and she rhymed off a big list of stuff. And I'm looking at her like, and she's like, you're a leader, you're this, you're that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just looking at her like, yeah, right. I have a problem. I have no confidence. I have nothing. But everything else she told me was so accurate. I went away and thought, what if I do this? What if I put as much energy into building myself up and constructing the life that I want? Because I've been in destruction mode for years. What if I just knock the drinking on the head? What if I start meditating every day? And I have to say, it was more to do with the fact that this woman saw potential in me. I was just drifting through life. I was getting sacked from menial jobs. I just couldn't focus myself. But when somebody said to me, I see potential in you, that was like, right, let's go. And that really, you know, to me, that is the power of a reading, because it literally changed my life. Now, obviously, I have had to do the work, but it was just the point of spirit, and obviously that lady, you know, telling me, you know, you matter, or you have value, or you have potential, you have something to share. I just went, okay, well, let's go, spirit. Let's see where we're going now. Let's go to class.
Yeah. So at what point then did you realize you was a medium as well, Ashley?
Well, that's what the lady told me in the reading, and I'm thinking,
She just come out with that and just said, you're going to be a medium.
She says, you know, I know this might sound a bit weird, and I don't really say this to the general public, but you have a really strong potential to be a medium. Psychic medium, she says, I see angel cards, I see talks, I see you upstanding, sharing the truth of spirit, you know, on a platform and all this. And this was about, it must be nearly 10 years ago now, at least 8-9 years ago. And I just thought, oh, really? Well, that's very interesting to me, because if you're telling me I can do even this much of what you've just given me, oh, I'm interested, right? So you start from the bottom up, and I went to Belfast Spiritualist Church, and I started classes, and I went there for a little while, and I'm going to be really honest, that was crap.
Really?
No, you know, I would sit in front of people and get nothing. I mean zero, I mean nothing, and it was embarrassing. It was panicky. It was frustrating, and I was just sort of, you know, I would have to always get the teacher to, you know, the tutor to come over and blend in with me and give a bit of something. And it literally took me a good at least 5 years before I was even making a halfway decent contact. And the thing is, as you're moving along, you're growing spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I meditate every day, every morning. I won't miss it. That's my spiritual practice. It's sacred to me. And you just change so much. And it's so bizarre, because this doesn't sound corny, but life inspires me. Like, situations will happen. I'll watch people, something will happen in nature, whatever it may be. And there's just this higher awareness sort of joins me, and it turns really philosophical and beautiful. And I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, I can make a video on that. Or I could, you know, this sort of stuff happens. But it has been a journey. Now, there's obviously people out there who start off with a little bit more of that natural ability, you know. But if you want to put in the time, the effort, the investment in yourself, then you'll still get there.
Yeah. And that obviously what you just said there, a lot of people would have given up. When I've sat in circle and I've run my own circles, people want that instant connection. They want to know that they can connect to spirit. Yes, some people out there are natural and they can get it developed really quickly. But for you to turn around and say it took 5 years to be half decent by your own admittance, and yeah, you know, we can all be our own worst critic, but that takes a lot of perseverance to stick at that. So 5 years in, you're kind of getting there, but obviously that within you, there must be that drive and determination to kind of do that. And that you need that as well, though, don't you? You do need that. So people are starting to ask, a lovely message from Cara. She's put, Ashley is unbelievable, so inspiring. So, because you do also quite a lot of YouTube videos with, you just jump on, don't you, and inspire people.
When I have the time, whenever I have the inspiration, and I take it from there, people, they seem to like them. And I'm sort of, I was chatting to you before, Paul, remember, about, I was going, why am I making these videos? Where are they going? What's the point? Well, it's, of course there is a point, but I'm not really fully privy to what it is just yet. And it's happened to me, though, a couple of times. I went to an event, another medium's event. I would go to my tutors and stuff, and I'll meet people, and they're sort of in the spiritual circles, and they'll walk up to me and they'll say, I really like that video you did. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. They're not even a friend on my Facebook. I'm like, oh, to me, then that's universe going, you're sort of seeking a bit of an answer here. Well, they're sending it in random people telling me. So awesome. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I think you put those out there and you don't necessarily know who you've touched and whose life you've completely changed by being open and honest on there as well. And you might not ever meet them, but you could have completely changed their life around.
And it's the same for spiritual talk. We don't know who's listening or watching. It might be something that somebody listens to or just inspires them. So, yeah, no, power to you for doing that. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. So we got a few questions coming in already. There's one from Carol Phillips. Here we go. Just trying to get up. Does spirit help you to with your hypnotism, or is it just your learning?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an easy one, and I'll go into sometimes if I'm using certain techniques with somebody in hypnotherapy, my guides will tell me, oh no, don't use this one, use this one, or don't say this, do this. So it's very much, I would class it as, spiritual hypnotherapy as well, because that's very much what way that it's led. And it's not funny, but I had a meditation and I was given certain symbols and certain things and certain processes, and I brought it out of meditation. I wrote it all down, and I used that with people around negative self-beliefs. And obviously I trained with people first and sort of did case studies and whatever, and then that is something that I offer, and again, people seem to enjoy it. So it is very much spirit-led.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. There's another question. Carol's just asked another quick question as well. Do you think you can try hard to be mediumistic and it actually slows or does it actually slow your progression? I believe that's what she means.
Oh, absolutely. You can try too hard. Yeah, definitely. I would say that I suffered that way. If I want to do something, I want to do it absolutely to the point of perfection, and that is definitely a detriment. That's something that I still have to work on with myself. I've been described even by other people as quite militant with, it's just that I absolutely want the best for that person, and it's as if nothing less than that is good enough. So I still struggle with that. It can take away your power. Oh, absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
Do you find it quite hard to be in just the flow and just go with it?
I think before I got to that stage through the years of training, that definitely stunted me. Absolutely. And it was about the beating up of myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was that it just made it very hard. Instead of it being let's give it a go and let's have an easy breezy process. No. People in my class would say to me, stop taking it so seriously. And I'm like, but it's so sacred to me. I am taking this seriously. That's my personality. I don't take this as a joke. So it's I'm trying to find a balance, but I would say so, yeah.
You have such high expectations of yourself that you expect it of everything that you do.
Yeah, completely.
Bless you.
Yeah. There's another one. Quick question here from Sean. Do you have certain meditations you listen to every day? For instance, do you choose spiritual guided meditations or something else? That's a good question, actually.
Very good question.
Yeah.
I would do a bit of both. I do like just some beautiful music mostly, but there's a certain one. I'll see if I can get the name of it. You'd think I would remember after literally years of doing it. It's binaural beats, and I think it's called The Ceremony of Original Innocence, something like that. And the lady that's speaking over this track, it just sounds like poetry. It's very wordy. I'm not listening to her words, but the vibration that she invokes in that particular one, and there's the in the background as well, that one just trances me right out. That's the one. And that's when we see the purple lights and all the good stuff, the violet. So yeah, that's my fave.
Love that.
You are so good to do an hour every day.
Yeah. Oh, I have to. Love it. But I suppose the morning time, because my days are chaotic and frantic and a bit busy, in the morning, that's my time for me. That's you know, it's as if, oh, there's a hush. I'm the only person in the world. I love it. You know, it's great. It's amazing.
And the energy is totally different that time of morning as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Have we got?
So we've got, yeah, it keeps freezing. So I've just looked up on my Facebook, and so far we've got half a. I have no idea what's going on with Facebook, guys. I'm really sorry. You can only half see me and half see you,
Oh,
Leeann.
you're cut off. Oh, good.
So yeah. So guys, if you want to jump onto Leann's page and have a look through there, if you're watching on mine, I think I've got 14 people watching on mine. But you're more than welcome to jump onto Leann's. You'll be able to see us all.
I don't mind if you've only got half a screen. It is Christmas. It'll probably be
I'm really sorry. Can you give me like 1 second?
Yes.
This is my daughter's laptop, and I don't want the battery to be going down. You'd think I would forget that. I would remember that one last thing, but I think she's handy here. Sorry, I'm just texting her.
Yeah, you need some power then. If you're not got the charger, someone's going to come in the door. This will be your daughter. This is great. There was a clip on BBC TV recently where a child came in to an interview. Look at that, the power of the sacred hand. That is so funny. Yeah, we're going to use this in one of our outtakes. This is going to go into one of our outtakes, definitely.
It's really lucky I wasn't wearing my pajama bottoms that I was going to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Something's going to happen. I'll make my trousers on. Okay.
That's so funny.
So I'm just sticking this in now. Sorry, guys.
We've been hit with lots of technical glitches and all sorts tonight. So the Spiritual Talk page has gone down as well. That's not on for some reason. Yeah, somebody out there doesn't want you to do this hypnotherapy session, I don't think.
Oh my gosh. Because now you're going to get a good benefit from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the magic of Facebook, isn't it? Yeah. You have to be careful what you say.
Yeah. So I've no idea what's going on. We'll sort it all out ready for next week when we're back, guys. But bear with us, please. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. And the hypnotherapy session is going to be brilliant. Any more questions as well? Here we go. I can see you all on your Facebook page. Oh, okay. Okay, it's getting there. We are getting there, guys. We are getting there.
Somebody's put, can I link my Facebook page because it's okay on there? I'll have to leave that up to the technical team because
we've got Dylan, our glamorous assistant, Dylan in the background.
Yeah,
who's helping. So there's also our website. If you have issues on Facebook, www.spiritualtalk.co.uk.
Maybe it's our energy on here tonight. It's too much to handle.
There is. There's too much technical stuff going on. So I would like to ask, Ashley, in terms of what you do and obviously your mediumship and your belief system, etc. How has it gone down with friends and family? Is everyone supportive?
Yeah. Actually, I've been quite lucky. You know, some people might find it a little bit odd, but well, I suppose this little bit, this interested me. So my brother had said to me, I was telling my friends that you're training to be, a psychic medium. And they said to me, what do you mean train? Like either you can or you can't. What do you mean? Is that like a charlatan? Like is you're learning tricks? Like, what do you mean by that? And he put to me, so what do you mean you're training? Like, what does that mean? And I suppose I actually put this to one of my tutors because I was a wee bit like, what do you say to this? That's a weird sort of concept. And he had said to me, let's just take a singer for an example. Celine Dion, whoever, blah, blah, blah. They, they're some of the best in the world. They have, a voice coach. They train. It's not as if people come out absolutely perfect every time. People don't see the work and the stuff that goes on in the background. So I thought, well, yeah, that's interesting. But no, I have a very supportive lot of family and friends. So I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, because it can affect, our personal lives, even on a social level, when people go, you're out for a drink and someone says, oh, what do you do? Sometimes it's better just to say you're an estate agent.
Yeah,
it really is, rather than you see auras. Oh, what's that? What colors am I? That's a very classical one I get. Oh, what colors have I got? So yeah, it can be a difficult thing sometimes. But Leeann, you was about to say something.
Sorry.
So I
I'm in a
thought,
blonde mode. Yeah.
oh,
I'm just completely absorbing all the energy this evening. Sorry.
that's right. That's right. Carry on.
So you were telling us earlier on that you do courses and stuff like that. So would you mind giving us a bit more information on some of the stuff that you do so all our viewers can know?
Yes, I suppose this was a really good opportunity for me to share that, obviously I offer hypnotherapy. That's one of the things that you'll find on my website. And it's just that I had this thought that kept coming back around to me. And, I know if I have a thought and if I put it away and if it comes back like 3 times, this one came back about 6 times, and it is about I'm just halving my prices. I'm halving my prices for hypnotherapy. The reason being, there has been people that have inquired, and the mental health struggle in Northern Ireland, it's real. With all the traumas, secondary trauma from the troubles and everything that's went on, and then this COVID business hasn't helped at all.
Yeah.
That I just thought, I don't want, it's £100 a session. I don't want that to be a barrier to people getting help. So that, and that genuinely is the reason. And also I want to put in there that anybody who books in, whether it be at this point or in next year, I'm also, and I don't know how long I'm going to lower the prices for. I just don't know. It could be a year, it could be less, it could be more, whatever. I just want that to be available for people. And anybody that does book in, I also have a course called the Sovereign Journey. And it's a personal development spirituality course. There's a lesson plan. There is videos on a certain YouTube channel I have for that as well. And, a wee quiz to find out where you are. And then you do the quiz at the end to find out where you've got to. So, but it is work. It's different meditations and it's all for a different purpose. And I'm offering that for free because to me, I just want that, I made that over lockdown. I had a bit more time and I just want to be out there more. And, anybody that books in can have that. And another thing that's exciting for me, very, very exciting, is that my work as a hypnotherapist. Now, I want to sort of state, and I'm sorry if anybody's interested, but I'm not offering stop smoking. I'm not offering weight loss. I'm not offering, God forgive me, the boring stuff. That doesn't light up my soul. I don't want to offer that. So you'll need to check on my website about what I do offer, but it's definitely, there's a spiritual aspect to it. And I suppose the fascination came when I was working with people. I changed the words from "that's find the root cause of your problem" from a time after you were born. I changed that. That's find the root cause of your problem in any space and time. And what began to happen was people were like, because I know a lot of obviously spiritual people, they were jumping like to other dimensions and different things were going on. And I was like, wow, this is fascinating to me. This, I'm really enjoying this process. It's very interesting. And then you're able to help people, obviously. And so I know that Sanna's been on the show, my wonderful friend Sam Montgomery, and she's been tutoring me and like a sort of mentorship with past life regression. So that is something that I'm going to be offering as well moving forward. So I know that Sanna is going to be offering that, to train people coming 2022. So that's very exciting.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Great year ahead.
So can we talk a little bit about past life regression? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
what is it you're doing for those that are sitting home going, we just sit here and talk about past life regression. There's a lot of people that are sitting at home and don't understand the process of why we do past life regression and what the purpose is of that. Can you just explain a little bit about how you do that within your work?
Absolutely. And I suppose the amazing thing about the way Zan has trained me is obviously because she is a very spiritual lady herself.
Yeah.
Who offers readings and things, is that at the end, you're allocated a certain amount of time to ask your higher self questions. And that as well is very interesting to me. Like I had a lady recently and her higher self came at the end and answered. I'll give you the full breakdown, but this bit fascinated me. At the end, her higher self came in. Now she obviously was a lady, a very deep voice, You know, you could distinctly tell the difference. And I was like, whoa, that fascinates me. You know, I don't, the work that we do, it doesn't, it to me, it's still miraculous every time. So the process is, you know, there's the beta, alpha, theta, delta brainwave states. And as a clinical hypnotherapist and also as a past life regressionist now that I'm offering, I have certain exercises, certain techniques that I use that's going to bring the person from beta down to alpha and possibly theta. So this, I know that this is the right brainwave frequency that we need to be. And I'll also do, they're called convincers. So I will then ask a person to, you know, I'll ask them to move a certain body part. Let's say flick your finger. And then I'll say, now try to stop flicking your finger. And they'll not be able to. So I will know you're in the right brainwave frequency for me to work.
Yeah.
So that's how I check. So you need to check your work. And then I know, like, we're in the realm of where we need to go. We're in fantasy land, so to speak. We're it's in the cellular memory of your body, your cells, your aura, your etheric self. That's where we are. So I won't work with somebody unless I get there. So from then thereafter, we go and, you know, we open up and we bring that person back, bringing you back to another space and time where, you know, this problem or this issue or just this experience is relevant. And we'll do that with 3 different ones. And, you know, it fascinates me. You know, I've had a lady in one, I'll use her as an example. She was a very, like an affluent lady in one life. She was a small, hungry boy in another. And then in the last one, she was an old man. So it's very different. But the themes and the patterns that were woven through were very similar. And then at the end, you know, higher self, right, let's ask these questions. And it was very different. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And the one where I said any space and time, I had a lady, and it was just, a lady had jumped to a different dimension, and her guide started to speak, because this lady's a very prevalent, like, trance medium and physical. So her guide came through and told her where the issue originated. It's the 6th dimension. Your perception of what happened here is not correct. Here's what really happened. And having that, you know, ta-da moment was enough for her to alleviate the ailment that she had. So, you know, to me, it's sacred. You know, whenever spirit guides or things come and they say whatever they need to say, it's fascinating to me. And that other lady I was using as the example, after she, you know, she spent her last day on earth, and I suppose something that I will explain is, I'm not bringing that lady through trauma. I'm not bringing her through the emotional state of passing away. Okay, I make sure I put that in the stipulation beforehand. And even if that was to happen, you just need to step back or go above the experience. So there's, you know, there's always something that you can alleviate it anyway. And each time after the life, she went to the spirit world, and it was sort of in between lives. And then her guides were there, and she was able to tell me which guides. And this happened the 3 times. And just the wisdom and the philosophy and my goodness, it was absolutely beautiful. There was, like, they were giving her secret symbols, and this is how you tend the garden of your mind, and this will never happen if you do this. And it was just so beautiful. And wow. I was able to record all that, and she has that to move forward with. So yeah.
Wow, I was actually going. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Yes, no, carry on.
I was actually going to ask you, like, I've had past regression done, but it was to go back in points of time to the trauma that I'd had in this time, to forgive my soul so it didn't happen again. Can you go back and pick up your gifts, or find out more about your gifts from past lives?
Well, you could set an intention. Obviously, with this kind of work, there's nothing guaranteed. It's a bit like, you know, it's experimental. It's a bit like the mediumship. But you can definitely set a strong intention, or you can even ask higher self at the end.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I know some of us will bring through abilities that we've had from, like, healers and mediums, will bring that through naturally anyway from past lives.
Yeah.
But is there anything you've experienced that's been, you know, really unusual that you were surprised at? Well, that last experience was very, it was very interesting.
Well, all right, I'll put it this way. So I'll give a wee bit of what happened with this lady that went to the other dimension. And it was, she had insomnia and couldn't figure out why she couldn't sleep. Right. It was really, really bad, like 2 hours a night. Like she was just exhausted. Very spiritual lady, trance medium, physical medium. And there was lots of trauma in this life that we had to work through. There was loads of different, she had died, near-death experiences, things like that, that would obviously, you would think, oh, wow, that would really make you not want to go to sleep again. But it wasn't any of those. So we had to go back, and I changed it to any space and time. And I said, dear, when did you notice that this started? And she had said, well, it's kind of started whenever my children, she's children, and whenever they had moved out and had their own homes and families and things, and it got particularly bad. So whenever we went back, she sort of was, she was very uncomfortable and she was in a bit of trauma. I'm saying, where are you? What's happening? I'm in the 6th dimension. I can hear my family. They're hurting my family. I could hear my family crying. And I was like, oh, that's not good. Oh, what's happening here? And then her guide came in and spoke and said, your perception is wrong, dear child, dear one, whatever it may have been. Your family are not being hurt. The cries that you hear are them being born into a new life. That is the sounds of babies crying. That's their soul essence being, born into a new life. And her whole pattern that needed to be alleviated was that her family wasn't safe, worried about her family.
Yeah.
And that's it. In this life, it sort of started when her children had moved out. So that was always in the back of her mind. But, her guide came and spoke to me and spoke to her and give the awareness and the wisdom. Your perception of what's happening isn't right. Here's how it is. That to me, I was like, wow, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
We have a few people asking if your development course that you've been talking about is on your website. Will they find it there? Yeah. So all the information.
It's £200. No. You'd be better off booking in for a session. It's on there. It's on my website. Yeah, you can find all the details.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Dylan's
worked out how to star it as well. So I
was like looking through, going, there's so much stuff there. Where am I finding the questions?
Yeah, no, Dylan starred it for us. He's worked out the technology and he started it so we can see it. So that's great news. So looking forward to my regression session, says Ryan Teer.
Oh, very good. Oh yes, that's my brother. He's been promised.
Awesome.
For sure. Him and my sister too. They're like, oh, you're up for that? Absolutely.
So I kind of want to go back into talking about past lives because a lot of people don't. We've had a few people that do past life regression, obviously Zan, but there's so much. It's such a big subject. I think we only touched the tip of the iceberg. In terms of, does anybody come back with any negativity they can't shift, or they struggle with, or past life experiences that are too traumatic? I mean, what do you do? Say you've got a client that's come back and has this past life memory where she was murdered and she needs to lift that energy or that memory, but she's struggling with that. How do you deal with that? Do you have had that experience?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I haven't personally, but whenever I was training with Zan, I had to be sort of under her tutelage, obviously. And there were situations that arose like that. And case studies that I was able to watch how Zan handled that. But it's a bit the same because I have the clinical hypnotherapy background. And what I mean is when I'm asking, let's say depression or panic attacks or a phobia, whenever I'm regressing somebody back, I have to build, I suppose I would need to explain this a little bit. If people think, say for example, you come to me with an issue like that, let me pick one, panic attacks. So if you come to me with panic attacks, I will make sure I explain to you, I'm going to have to make you uncomfortable. This is not going to be easy breezy process because you cannot make your way around the trauma. You have to go through it. and wherever this originated, I'm going to have to bring you there, but I will take you out of it. You will either look down or you'll step back from the emotion. So I've had a lot of practice with that. And that's what I, spoke to Zan about. I says, look, that's the one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to put people into trauma. But there's certain techniques that as a clinical hypnotherapist that I use to, we need to find the root cause of where your panic attacks are. That it could be anything. It could be, somebody was, an example would be somebody fell down between two beds and bedclothes when they were a young child, and everything was on top of them and they couldn't breathe. That's more mild, but for that child, the child's consciousness doesn't understand what's going on, and it's very traumatic. So you are able to lift them out of the trauma. You literally just said you're working with consciousness. It's so malleable. Bring yourself up, look down at a bird's eye view from this experience, and step back from the emotion. And then, when you have the adult's perspective, looking at what has actually happened here, they're not being hurt, nothing's happening. You're able to reframe it and fix it and move on. Now, in the case of somebody being murdered, which is definitely something that I encountered with San, it was, somebody being strangled. And it was, okay, move away from that emotion, step back. This is a memory that is not you now, all of that. And it worked absolutely fine, because that was one main thing I didn't want to dabble with without being trained. I work with it in a different way with the clinical hypnotherapy, but with that one, I didn't want to, obviously I wanted to be fully trained. So yeah,
it's interesting. Absolutely. Just processing what you're saying as well. It's just, so much around past life regression. So just talk us through the process of what we're going to do tonight, if you don't mind, Ashley.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be using deepening techniques, obviously that I've been trained with the clinical hypnotherapy, and there's also the spiritual aspect that's going to be woven in there. So you will be able to hear, like, it's the chakra system. You're going to have a red door, and then you're going to have an orange door, yellow, green, and moving all the way up. If you're blue, indigo, violet, etc. So and it's all about doors. It's a big thing when you're working with the mind and consciousness, is open and closing doors and where you're going. So that's going to get us down to I'm going to use a couple of different, they're called deepening techniques. Now, I'm not going to be able to do the convincer. That it really is for a one-to-one session. But I know if I use these in conjunction, you're definitely going to be in the brainwave frequency for us to work with. And, it's a bit like a daydreamy sort of experience. I suppose everybody's either you're just coming out of a dream and you're a wee bit, but this is one thing I want to explain. You will be fully conscious. You will be fully aware of what's going on, because that's a very big misconception of people thinking, oh, I'm going to be out of it, or they're going to get me to bark like a dog or do something stupid. No, you're actually more aware. You're 200 to 300 times, when they measure people's brainwave frequency state, 200 to 300 times more aware. You're in the super learning state. Whenever you're like a child, that's why children can learn languages and they can pick things up, and in school they learn so much. And then we sort of come out of that, is because they're in the brains between the age of 0 to 7, they're in the same brainwave frequency state that I will be working with, either a client or in this session. So we'll get us all nice and down and settled, and then me as your guide will take you on a journey. I'll create the construct. I can't put something in your mind. I'll say like a building, but that building will be whatever you perceive. And then, we'll go in and I'll explain the process. And then thereafter, you'll be able to come out and meet a spirit animal. And if you already have a spirit animal, because a lot of spiritual people do, you'll get a wee messenger. And, the spirit animals, they fascinate me, because if I see like a swan one day and a swan here, and a swan pops up my Facebook, and then a child brings me a fluffy swan, I'm like, okay, this swan keeps coming up. Let me look at the spirit animal, the message. And it fascinates me. There's always something in that message. It hasn't not worked yet. So it's about being open to listen to and take in the guidance and the signs. And when I use that one with I'll give an example. I used this with the lady, and she got I think it was like an ox or a bull, and she was like, oh, no, an oxer, but she wasn't impressed at all. And then, I says, check out the message. And then she sent me a message after, and she says, that's completely me. It was all to do with ambition and business and strength and this and, fortitude and all of this stuff. And she was like, wow, that's so me. So, it made sense to her, which is, it's great. It's interesting.
So in essence, this is a free session that is, well, it just sounds like a bit of a journey. Potential for it is fantastic. So guys, if you're listening at home, to get this out there, because I think this is well worth to spread the message out there as much as we can. Please like and share. More importantly, just keep sharing for us so we can get as many people that might touch them. They might find some value from this. So please, guys, if you're sitting at home, please share away. And also, we're looking for some volunteers to come in and share their experience in the studio. We'll put up the studio links in a minute so you can come in. Shall we look to, they're going up, thanks to them, they're going up and in. I'm going to copy and paste as well so people can come straight in on the comments. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
So Ashley, are you bringing people into the studio to do it, or are you bringing them in after to talk about their experience?
Well, we could do both. I'm not sure what way you're set up, but people can come in and do bits there and sort of after. And I suppose that, this is maybe the main crux of it, the main part that I should really explain. I'm going to be guiding you. Basically, this is a message for yourself at this time. Now we have to be very open. Again, like it's like mediumship. It's experimental. So you could meet, and this is what people have met. Their higher self, a loved one passed. The majority now, a spirit guide. They could get like just writing on a wall, a really positive feeling. They feel like they've got healing. It's so diverse that I can't really call what exactly is going to happen. But the intention is that you yourself, from your own inner guidance system, in whatever way or form that expresses itself, you're going to have your experience, and then you're going to have the clarity thereafter. Either you can check it out, whether it be a spirit animal, or you'll just know, or you'll be told something. Do you know what I mean? So, and it should be a very pleasant experience.
Yeah, we've got one person in already that's volunteered to come in to be guinea pig. Anybody else that would like to come in, we'd love to see you guys. You don't have to come in on camera, just so we can hear your voice. It'd be really good. I'm going to do it as well.
So am I.
So we're both going to be taken down and do it. We're really looking forward to that. So it's going to be awesome. We'll just wait a couple more minutes. We'll give people the opportunity to click on the link, and hopefully they're going to come on. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Hi, Joe. Do you want to come in, Joe? Come on, jump in on the link, Joe, and get involved. That'd be really good.
Party. Why not?
Yeah, Joe's come in. Hopefully someone else is going to come in. Come on, we need a couple people that can jump in. That'll be brilliant. Come on, guys, don't be shy.
I was going to say, sort of in the meantime, on my YouTube channel, there's one, a very good long meditation I did, hypnotherapy meditation, and it was to work on your fear. And I put that out because of obviously all the COVID stuff. So people seem to like that one. It's about 40 minutes. So if you just want to check that out. And I suppose one thing I definitely want to get in here that I'm very excited about is next year, myself and Zan Montgomery and we are offering a beautiful weekend retreat where it's not exactly a retreat. You'll be doing lots of work. It's we're experimenting with mediumship. We're going to be angel and oracle cards, the spiritual hypnotherapy sessions, where that intention is we're going to the spirit world before you incarnate it. So that's interesting. And then Avine, she's a wonderful healer, medium, and Zan, amazing, past life regression and the galactic connection. So. And they're in these quaint little cottages in Oma, so everything's all included. So we do have some space left, but it's booked pretty up. There is some spaces there, so just putting that out there as well.
Sounds really good
with people.
Sounds really good. Come on, we get one more person. Come on, can we get one more? We've got two in the studio, so we'll bring those guys in a minute. Myself and Leeann as well as before. It'd be lovely to have one more.
I don't know what you're doing, Ashley, but my life he is like buzzing, going, can't wait.
Yeah, I know, me too. Yeah, me too. How long do you think it will last for? How long does the process take?
I'd say about maybe 15, 20 minutes. could be.
Okay.
Something around that time.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
I'm
Sean,
ready. I don't know about anyone else.
Can't wait. So I'm just going to bring these people into. Hi guys. Hi
Hi,
guys.
ladies.
You don't have to have yourself on screen just so we hear you. It's up to you. We can do it afterwards, but we might as well crack on with it. Hopefully, people are at home. Let us know you're watching at home, so we know you're there, because the comments have gone a bit quiet. So let us know you're there, guys, and hopefully you're going to join in with a session as well. So when you're ready, Ashley, we'll start. It won't let me open the link. Okay, I'm just going to send you another copy of that link into there, Joe, and hopefully you can jump in. Yeah, no problem if you're feeling poorly, Zoe. It's not a problem. Yeah, try that. That should get you in. Okay. Hope you feel better soon, Zoe. So, okay. Double talk. Right, okay. Let's do this. Hopefully, if you come in, guys, just put your microphone on mute. That'll be great.
So I suppose before we start, I will need to explain, if you're driving or if you are not, you need to be well, please don't do this, okay? So don't be listening and going along with what I'm going to suggest. You know, hopefully you're somewhere uninterrupted and you can just take a wee bit of time for yourself. And the good thing is you can watch this recording back and just go through the process, okay? So I'm just going to put on a little bit of background music. Hopefully we'll be able to hear. Let me see where I'm going to set this. Even if it's low, that's absolutely fine. So I just invite everybody who is joining in on this collective journey and process. Just invite you all now to be open to the journey that you're going to experience. And I just invite you all now just to gently close your eyes. And just give yourself a moment to settle, taking this bit of time for you to get guidance from yourself for your life at this time. So I just want to invite everybody to take in a long, deep breath and fill up your lungs. And I want you to hold that breath to the mental count of 4. And I want you to slowly exhale that breath, allowing your body to relax, sending a wave of relaxation from the top of your head, through your forehead, your cheeks, your chest, your stomach, down through your legs, your knees, and into your ankles and feet. Now we can deepen this relaxation much more. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open and close your eyes. When you close your eyes, allow this to be your signal to let this relaxation become 10 times deeper. All you've got to do is want it to happen, and you can make it happen very easily. So when you're ready, take a long deep breath and hold it, and just let that breath go nice and gently, and that's good. Just imagine your whole body is covered in a warm blanket of relaxation. Now we can deepen this relaxation much more. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open and close your eyes again. This time when you close your eyes, double the relaxation you have. Make it become twice as deep. So when you're ready, take a long deep breath and hold it. Open your eyes and close them. Let that breath go and let every muscle become so relaxed that as long as you choose to hold on to that relaxation, every muscle is totally relaxed. Now we can deepen this relaxation much more. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open and close your eyes one more time. This time when you close your eyes, double your relaxation, make it become twice as deep. So when you're ready, take in a long deep breath and hold it. Open your eyes, close them, let that breath go, double your relaxation, and let every muscle become so relaxed that as long as you hold on to that relaxation, every muscle is totally relaxed. And that's good. And I just want you to imagine now a pillar of beautiful golden white light pouring down into the crown of your head, coming down in beautiful golden light, moving down through your crown, through your head, through your neck, down to your shoulders, relaxing every muscle, every fiber, every cell, down through the top of your shoulders, your chest, your arms, moving down your back, that wonderful relaxing golden light, moving down your torso to your pelvis, moving down now to the tops of your thighs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and the very tips of your toes. You've all now shown that you can relax physically. Now I'm going to show you how to relax mentally. And this is very easy to do. And the whole point of this exercise is that you become confused. And in that confusion, you can let that conscious mind go. Because we're drifting deeper and deeper down to have our experience. So, don't do anything now until I actually ask you to start. In a moment, I will ask you to start counting backwards in your mind from 1,000. And in your mind, on your exhale, you will say 1,000 mentally. And on the next exhale, you will say deeper, relaxed. And on the next exhale, you can say 999. And on the next exhale, you can say deeper, relaxed. And you will find that if you do this, and it does not take very long, that your mind becomes so relaxed that you get confused or forget exactly which number is next. This is exactly what you want to happen. So, now you can count all the way down to 0 if you wish, but that's not why we're here. We're starting off with the intention of relaxing your mind and just noticing how good it feels as you do this. I will be talking to you as you do this mentally, but you don't have to listen to me. So just continue to count backwards in your mind. So on the next out breath, you can say silently to yourself, 1,000. And on the next out breath, you can say deeper, relaxed. And on the next, 999. And on the next out breath, deeper, relaxed. You continue doing this and I will talk in the background and you don't have to listen. You just continue on and I will come back to you at a point. I'm now going to count from 10 down to 1. And with each number I count, allow your mind and body to relax a little bit more. Don't try to make it happen. Notice how it happens all by itself. And the deeper you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you can allow yourself to relax. Not because I say so. This is the very nature of your mind and body to enjoy these deeper levels of relaxation. I'm now going to count from 10 down to 1. And 10, going deeper and deeper. 9, relaxing more and more. 8, all the way down now. 7, relaxing deeper and deeper. 6, deeper and deeper. 5, relaxing more and more. 3, just letting go. 2, all the way down. 1, deeper and deeper. If you're still counting backwards, that's okay, you continue to do so. At some point you'll lose the numbers. And if you became confused, that's completely fine. Just noticing now how all those numbers are just getting jumbled up and a bit mixed up in your mind. Just letting them go without resistance, releasing them, or maybe you're already confused. Just moving on to the next part of the session. I'd like you to begin by imagining a red door, a bright red door, and on that door there is the number 7, and you can see that clearly in your mind, and that's good. And now you're walking towards that door, and you may experience that door in any way, which is all perfect. You may see it, you may sense it, you may feel it in a visceral way, clairvoyantly, clairsentiently, whatever way is perfect for you. This is how your mind works. So push open that door now to that beautiful red room, and you close that door behind you, and notice how all the walls are red, most of the furniture is red. It's not an angry red, and somehow comforting, because you know you're going on your own journey this evening. So gather any strengths that you feel from this room and move to the far side of the room. And this door is orange, and on that orange door is a large number 6. Make your way to this door, and as you reach this door, you wonder what is beyond it, and you push open that door with your hand and your mind, and you walk through into a lovely, bright orange room. And the orange room represents your desire to overcome maybe an issue or to have an experience, and that's good. And you know that you can achieve it and you can have your experience. So gather anything you need from this room, strength, and move to the other side of the room. And there is a yellow door. And on that yellow door, there is a large number 5 on it. And as you enter that yellow room, you're filled with hope and optimism. And you can feel that hope and optimism entering your soul at the deepest part of your mind. This lovely, bright yellow room, like a ray of sunshine. It's a wonderful room, and your hope and optimism are increasing moment by moment. And now walk over to the green door at the end of the room, the green door with the number 4 on it, a large number 4. As you enter the green room, you find that you can drift a little deeper. That's right, you can drift a little deeper into hypnosis, and this wonderfully calm and relaxing feeling, drifting deeper and deeper still. Now the green room represents abundance and growth, just like the new growth of spring and its promise of things to come. And more importantly, you can overcome any issues holding you back, becoming stronger and stronger, being open to having your own experience. And that is a wonderful, positive feeling. And at the end of the green room, you bring with you the determination to succeed, is the blue door. And on this blue door is the number 3. The number 3, it's bright and cheerful, it's blue. And that's how you feel as you drift deeper still and ready soon to begin to have your experience. Just like the new growth of spring, this blue door offers you the strength to overcome any adversity and to be open to your experience this evening with a feeling of deep inner calm, growing stronger and stronger and calmer. And it's beautiful. This room opens up in your mind's eye to a beautiful garden with an orchid, and the flowers and the leaves and the trees are so different in shade, and you drift deeper and deeper still. Moving forward, you notice another door, an indigo door. This door is the colour of the deep blue sea, and it has on it the number 2. And as you push open that deep blue door, you find yourself watching the ocean waves. A feeling of total peace comes over you, total peace and serenity, and you go deeper and deeper still. You find yourself moving now. You're floating over the deep blue sea, over and over, deeper and deeper, yet rising above to a higher plane of consciousness, almost as though you're aware of your higher mind, rising and rising, going higher and deeper into this lovely, peaceful feeling, until you reach a heavenly door, the most perfect shade of violet, a rich purple, a door with the number 1, and you're now at number 1 with the universe and yourself. As you enter this violet room, you see a beautiful white light with sparkling reflections of violet from the room. So enter the light, for your mind is now open and receptive to go on this journey experience. I want you to imagine now you're at your own front door, and push open your own front door and you'll find yourself in a beautiful, majestic forest. And in this beautiful, majestic forest, you may see birds, trees, you may smell moss. This is a place where magic and wonder abound. You may hear animals in the distance. You find yourself on a path, and you make your way on that path. And this path is welcoming. This path is sacred. And you find yourself coming to a clearing. And at the clearing, you look straight ahead. You see a building, a beautiful building, and whatever is there is perfect for you. Make your way to that building now and stand outside the door. It may be a church, it may be a temple, any building, and it is such beautiful architecture. So you stand at this door. I want you to push open that door now and find yourself inside this sacred building. Take in the reverence, the healing, the higher aspects of yourself and your connection that is here. There may be stained glass windows with light pouring in, there may be music, but take a look around at this beautiful room in this beautiful building. This is your safe space. I want you to make your way to the back of the room now, and there is a door, and behind this door there is a message of higher guidance for yourself at this time. You may meet a guide, a spirit guide, your higher self, a loved one past, whatever it may be. So what I want you to do now is push open that door in your mind and go into this room. I'll be talking in the background. I'll dip in and out. Go and have your experience. I'm going to give you a few moments to have your experience. open and receptive to any guidance you receive. Being open to any healing you are receiving, any messages, any guidance. Connecting with your highest aspects, whoever is there to share what you need for your life at this time. You may receive healing, being open to your experience. Knowing that you'll be able to retain any guidance, any wisdom or knowledge from whatever you're experiencing, being able to fully retain that when you come back. Thanking now whoever has shown up to give you this guidance, this healing, this experience. Thanking whoever is there, whatever way you receive this information. Moving back now, coming back out the door, closing that door, taking in the beautiful healing, sacred energy in this building. Making your way back now, coming back to the door of the building, coming out of the door, making your way back through the forest, and you go now and you sit beside a certain tree. A tree has made itself aware to you. Going and sitting beside that tree, noticing there's a little stream just beside you, and in your mind now, asking in a moment for your spirit animal or spirit messenger to come forward. It can be a bird, it can be a fish, it can be an insect, a mammal. So 1, 2, 3, asking now for whatever spirit animal is there to make themselves known. If you have more than one, whichever one has came forward first, and just connect in with your beautiful spirit animal or messenger. See if you're receiving any wisdom or any guidance or just that connection. Just taking a moment to connect with them. Just thanking that spirit animal or messenger, making your way through this majestic forest, back to the door, your front door, coming back to present day awareness. I'm now going to merge you. I will count from 1 up to 3, and at the count of 3, your eyes will open and you will feel like you've had a great rest, feeling relaxed, calm, and at peace. 1, slowly coming back to normal awareness, feeling relaxed, rejuvenated, and looking forward to the rest of your evening. 2, Feeling your eyes clearing like they are being bathed in a cool mountain spring. And 3. Feeling good in every way, opening your eyes, feeling alert and refreshed. And just give yourself a moment to just come back to present day awareness, shifting, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, slowly moving your body, coming back to present day awareness. If you need to take a little drink or a sip of water, you can do so. Just giving yourself a moment to just come back and be settled, because it can feel a little spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Paul, are you back in the stratosphere with us?
Wow, I really went deep on that. Did you see that?
I could see you looked very trancy.
I did, yeah. And it was interesting because when I was coming out, I could feel someone over my face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, I felt like someone was tickling with my nose, and it was like,
Yeah. Spirit energy. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very interesting. Yeah, it was. I can't explain it. It's almost like going through a tunnel, really.
Mm-hmm.
Experiencing that, and then coming back, but then going really deep, and then coming back with feeling of something fixed on my face, which was interesting. Yeah,
I can see that with you.
Yeah, so interesting. I used to do quite a bit of chant, but yeah. So yeah, people are commenting already. They had a snow leopard. Simone had a snow leopard.
Cool.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to share their experiences?
I went to this lovely. It looked like a mini Taj Mahal.
Okay.
Just mini, and it was sort of 50p shaped inside, and big wooden white door. And when I went behind it, there was it was like an angel but had no wings. It was a man with a beard, and he had an all-in-one gown on with loose sleeves, and he held my hands, and then he put one hand across my face, and then he put his hand on my head, and it felt like he was telling me everything's going to be well, everything's going to be okay. And then he was holding a piece of green ivy, and the spirit animal that I saw was a badger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds absolutely amazing. And that's obviously your clear knowing of, you're obviously getting a bit of healing as well, and the way he placed his hands on you. And do you know what? I would even look up the spiritual meaning of ivy, because you can look up all sorts of stuff, and it's always so relevant. It's really interesting.
So I've got a question. So I went really deep. I mean, really deep. I'm not even conscious of what was going on. What would you say to me?
Well, I would say I feel like from what I was watching, I feel like you were falling into trance. So if you were with me on a one-to-one, I do certain different techniques, and I know if you're falling so quickly, I'm not going to use 2 and 3 different deepeners. I'll use one, so you'll be more consciously aware of the experience. So it's just to do with how quickly and easily you just you're away, you're down there. I could see the trance nodding with you, and I was like, wow, okay, he's away there.
Yeah, I keep being told to do it, and I must do it. I need just finding the opportunity to do it. I used to sit in circle with trance, but I've not done it for a few years. I remember going to the college about 3 years ago, and everyone was saying, you've got to do trance. So yeah, I need to get back into it. How about you, Sean? How did you get on?
Well, it was funny you said what you said, Paul, because I thought that was really weird for me, because I was like, well, I was experiencing some stuff and then I wasn't, and then it was bizarre. I thought my spirit animal was a horse.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And then it was like every time you took me for a door, I could see the other door already, and I knew what colour it was going to be before you'd even said it.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that. But then there were some times where I wasn't even conscious. I'd gone like, I could still hear you, but I'd gone really like deep, and I couldn't. But then there were some times where I was conscious, and then I could know what was happening. I think I saw a guide, but I honestly can't remember what they looked like. It was just pure, they were pure white. That's all I saw. And I think it was a lady as well. But yeah, and then when you said about it felt like somebody was in front of you when you were coming open, that mine, it was like a dark shadow just come over my face.
Okay.
And then I was seeing like purple and starry-eyed skies and everything. I was going, I don't even know where I was going.
In the stratosphere.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah, but it's so good that when you get right down there and deep, you know, there is also the healing element of it. You know,
Yeah.
even though you were just, it was obviously the awareness that guide was there and connecting in. And, you know, obviously you wouldn't be at the start of your journey, but other people that, you know, when sometimes I work with people who are completely, you know, they don't even, you know, they've no spiritual sense at all, or they're not aware of it. You know, when you take them there, they're like, wow, you know, what's going on? So it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Still seems amazing, and definitely look up your horse.
Yeah, because I put the intention when you said about spirit animal, I put the intention of the spirit animal to come forward, and instantly I just saw a horse. And to me, that I felt it was kind of like strength or like power.
Yeah,
stuff like that. That's what came to me anyway.
I was looking at the horse spirit animal recently, and that's definitely what it represents, you know, strength and all exactly what you just said there. So when you look it up, you'll definitely see that it does. That's you got it.
I feel really bad because I didn't hear anything. I was gone. I didn't know we went through doors. No one told me we went through doors.
Well, so Paul, I could see you going through the doors. Here you were.
You were okay.
You were nodding through the doors. Yeah.
Wow.
Your spirit was still going through them. You watch it back, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can still feel that hand here. It was lovely. It was just felt. It's like a golden love.
Oh, beautiful.
And it was lovely.
Yeah.
And on my head, it felt like I was being comforted.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's strange, but I know that's what I need at the moment. And it was lovely, and seeing all the woods and the trees and everything, because I love all that nature and everything. That's where the badger comes in.
Cool. That'll be an interesting one. Maybe we should put it on somewhere. We comment later on when you check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always something relevant, a quality to their life that sort of needs to come in, a wee message. What about yourself, Leeann? Were you able to see?
Yeah.
Hear,
You didn't have to do much work like Paul. I was like, I could feel myself just slip. So I think I was, as soon as you started getting me to count down, the purple just surrounded me, completely submerged me. I was aware that you were saying about doors, but I knew I was going through them on a level, but not consciously going through it, because it was just purple. And then when you said about standing in front of a building, this massive gold temple appeared, and it was so bright. And then when I stepped inside, it was just all gold everywhere. And then when you said to step through the door, I just got this gold liquid coming in through the top of my crown and just filling my whole body, and it had sparks of white, and it was beautiful. And I kept going. So the message, I'm open. I just felt like I'd been completely just drenched in gold. I mean, I just feel a bit floaty. It's really lovely. I feel grounded. just beautiful. And then when we went, you said about a tree, straight away there was a weeping willow, and it was draping in the water. And then I saw a big bear standing next to me by the side of the tree, followed by, talk about little and large, followed by a little rabbit at my foot. So,
okay.
yeah, I'm going to be looking those up to see what they are. But no, it was absolutely, yeah, my head started, I said to you, it was buzzing earlier on as soon as you came on, and I was like, but now I'm just, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty deep.
It was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. That was awesome. Thank you guys for joining
Thank
in
you.
and coming in on the stream as well and being our little guinea pigs. It takes,
Or badges.
you know, doing a meditation in front of who we just don't know who's watching as well. They're going to be laughing at me doing a nodding dog impression later. Isn't that Churchill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We just look back and find out that we were dribbling.
Oh my gosh, no, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Okay.
It's been a really interesting evening. We can't thank you enough for coming in, Ashley, and being our guest, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for the guys that come in. I'm just going to drop you guys out.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. See you soon, guys.
Bye.
So, just one quick question before we go, though, Ashley. What next? What's next on your? I know you're going to do that thing with Zan, but what next for you, though? Is what are your plans?
Well, I'm hoping for, depending on what way the word goes,
Yeah.
more workshops, more getting out there, more speaking, more videos. I am offering, the hypnotherapy healing sessions. Really excited about the weekend, and where that journey is going to go and connecting with people. And, you need that kinship, especially at a time like this, but everybody will have an individual cottage, with shared aspects. So just happy to, take on this element of work now where I can add the spiritual element. And, I love to hear and listen to spirit and connect in. So lots of events and different bits all connected in. And I've seen there Brian Lynch. He's another tutor of mine, a very amazing medium. Good to see people on. So that's fab. So yeah, just keep up to date on Facebook, follow, or Ashley Teer Psychic Medium, Ashley Teer Therapy website, YouTube channel, the Sovereign Spirit, and there's one called the Sovereign Journey that's going to be for the course when people book in. So there's just loads. So yeah, exciting times.
Brilliant. So it's that time again, Leeann. It's
I know it's gone fast.
It's gone really, really quick this evening. And we haven't got a guest for next week as yet. We're kind of working with an idea.
I thought I was interviewing you.
Are we? Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, I think it's a good idea.
Possibly. there is another little thing up my sleeve I haven't told you yet. So watch this space, everybody. We'll see what's going to be revealed for next week. So, and Christmas is coming so quick as well. So it's going to be a bit of a Christmas special next week as well. It will be our last one. Then we'll have a break, and then we'll be back in New Year with the lovely Elaine Thorpe.
Oh wow!
So,
I'll be tuning in next week, and for that, and I've heard some of the other guests are having lined up for next year. So I'm also a fan myself, so I can't wait, guys.
Brilliant. Well, thanks everybody for coming in, and we will see you, both Leeann and I, this time next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Ashley. Bye, everybody.